Simon, you have what do you want to say?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Simon.
Yeah, big fan of President Trump. I do want to say 2 days ago at that event with the black female journalists, I did not think that Trump came across that well. I was surprised that most of the media, right-leaning media, really praised him for doing such a great job at that event. So it got me wondering that if at an event like that, if he picked his nose and ate it, would you guys applaud it? And if he farted in his hand and smelled it, would you guys applaud it as well?
Are you asking me that question?
Well,
Yeah.
let me respond to that.
Yeah.
I would say, would you obviously...
How ridiculous does he have to be?
Well, first off, here's the thing. Take a look at what's happening in reality. Is it ridiculous that 22 million people are coming into this country and basically taking all the housing? If you look what's happening with housing prices and everything else, what are you going to do with 22 million people? Have you taken a look at what's happened with all the fentanyl deaths out there because of open border? Take a look at gangs.
Yeah, but what if he picked his nose and ate it?
Yeah, but you're not even looking at it. You're not even looking at it correct.
Right. I mean,
he walked into...
you're not even being serious, Simon. So let's be serious, right?
Can Orange Jesus do any wrong in your eyes?
But let's be serious, okay? I mean, first of all, if you know anything about me, you know I am not in the cult of Trump. I support Trump because I'm a grown woman and I'm not morally compromised, deaf, dumb, or blind. And so I can remember what life was like just 4 short years ago. And 4 short years ago, it was 1.82% inflation. I was buying properties. I felt like there was opportunities. The border was secure. We had good policing. Those are the things that matter. And when you call in saying some gibberish and foolishness and trying to make that the straw man thinking I'm going to fall into that trap, that's not going to happen. We got to grow up, people, and focus on the things that really matter. I don't care if Trump pick his nose, scratch his butt, and pick his hair. I don't care. I don't care about any of those things.
What if he pulled down his pants
Are
and
you going to
peed on
be
the
serious?
stage?
You know what? Take him off stage. I mean, take him off air. I don't have time for that kind of foolishness. Grow up. He sounds too old to be this ridiculous.
Well, this is the stupidity of
the
people.
Stupidity. Calling me with that foolishness.
Because we can't even have a conversation. Was Trump perfect at that meeting? I would say absolutely not. There's things he could have said a little differently. But the fact that he went into that arena, knowing that it was going to be tough because he knew that a lot of those reporters were against him. He showed up. He had the courage to show up, unlike Harris, who didn't show up at all in that. Remember, she turned it down.
Right. She didn't show up. She came on Zoom.
And he did the best thing. The only thing I will say, when the DEI question came up, I would have just turned it around and said, Martin Luther King, and I remember that because I'm old enough. You're still only 29, Kathy.
I will take it.
But I remember Martin Luther King in front of the Lincoln Memorial in, I think, 1964, and he talked about his dream, and he said he dreamt of the day when we will judge people by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin. DEI is just another use of the N-word I've heard and people have talked about.
So does that mean that for these past 4 years that